plant a flag. Caps lock on? No. Oops. SP OTS. Right. Oops. Oh. I'm going to call this critter Kerblantic because based on the fact that many of the dark craters on the moon, our real Earth moon, are named like oceans or seas because way back when they thought the dark spots were water. I'm sure many of you know that. Those of you that don't, little fun fact, I don't know why he just spun when I did that. Let's go ahead and get Scott out of the lander. Let him have a little bit of EVA time. Here, let go. Here we go. Go check on Bill. See how he's handling low gravity. Maybe kick him while he's down. Hey, Bill. 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 Get up. Let's get Bill up. Oops. I guess that was our one. Nope. There's Bill and Scott and the Kerblantic. And here's the one piece of debris that made it. I was really hoping everything would be destroyed. I didn't want to leave debris on the surface if I could avoid it, but it seems I did. 700 meters away. Great. Well, I guess it's time to go back home. We've made it. Made it to the surface. Let's get Scott. I believe this is Scott. Back into the lander. F. And have him board. Board. Let's get was that Scott? Yeah, that was Scott. Get Bill. Get your RCS pack out. Oops, I actually didn't put it away. Oh, don't hit it. My lucky tip it over. Oops, I missed. I didn't press the F button in time. Okay. Man, what an angle. And board, check our map. Still getting communications. Sent back to Kerbin. Give me the word to go ahead and try and take off. Hopefully, at the very least, we'll be able to get into orbit. I'm not sure we'll be able to get back home. Have to be very careful not to press the spacebar or I will screw us entirely. We'll lose our SAS and the top engine piece as well because those are both set to stage so that only this centerpiece will land separately. They all have parachutes. I want to try to recover as much as possible, but I want to split it up and give every piece its own set of odds. But that said, turn our SAS on for the time being to just kind of help make sure we don't go flying over. And you're likely hearing rain. There's a lot of rain outside right now. For the record, there was I would have been recording this earlier in the day, but there was a tornado watch or warning. I forget which is which. And the dog might also be trying to scratch at my door because she wants to hide next to my feet. But retract the ladder. If you hear scratching on a door, that's what that is. And we will throttle up in an attempt to take off in 3, 2. And we are in fact taking off. Angle this under the 90 degree. Approximately anyway. luckily, because we're on the moon, we don't have to angle, we don't have to wait so long before we can start just turning. Oh, let's put up our gear. Don't need this anymore. And we need to focus mostly on getting our horizontal speed up, heading towards the horizon, so that we can get into an orbit. We'll gain a little bit of altitude here and there as we go, but right now we've got to just expand our orbit. Oh, I don't know if I'll have enough fuel for this. Should have saved while I was on the ground, shouldn't I have? Because this would be quite a sad loss if we lost both Bill and Scott. If there's an emergency, we could, I guess, technically EVA them and try to land them back on the surface and try to send a rescue mission out. It would be an expensive loss. Both the mission to send back up to get them, as well as the loss of this ship. But quite honestly, it does not look like we're going to be able to get home with this. I'm not even sure we're going to get into orbit. Need to give us a little bit more altitude, actually, because at this height we're liable to crash into a mountain range at some point along the way, even if we do get into an orbit. I think we need a little bit more height, which is helping out with our orbit a little bit. Get this up to about 10 kilometers. Throttle this down. For the sake of fuel efficiency, we will wait till we get a little closer to our 10 kilometers that we just got up to before we proceed to push this out some more. I think we should maybe at least get this into orbit, but I'm not sure about getting home. If we can't get it home, that will be unfortunate. I was really expecting, or I was really, I won't say expecting, but I was hoping that I could just hop back home. But it has been a while since I've done this, so we'll have to wait and see. The flags. Our flag isn't showing up, that's weird. Well, we know it's there. How odd. Let's go back to landers. And let's look at the surface here. Where's let's see. Let's check the IVA. IVA is inside. Let's see. Looks like Scott's driving. That's really loud rain. I hope it's not too distracting. Just pretend it's little tiny specks of dust hitting the outside of the ship continuously. Or a lunar dust storm, if you want to pretend. Or not. I don't think there's such a thing. I think our own moon doesn't even have wind, so it can't even have dust storms. That's why all the craters look so precise and perfect, because they haven't been affected by any kind of erosion. I went to there. Let's put our camera back outside. Here we go. I'm afraid to time warp, because I don't know exactly when to stop, or we'll time warp for a couple seconds here. And proceed to throttle up. We're maintaining, pushing our horizons out. Have to carefully watch this fuel level. And there goes the flag. It's about to disappear as we approach the 100 kilometer mark. There it goes. Oh, we've made orbit. Are we? We're technically currently in a safe orbit. I wasn't sure that was going to happen. No, we do need to raise it a little bit more if we want to be safe, because I still think we are a little too low to call ourselves safe at this point. So let's push this out to That should be fine. And at some point around here is when we'd want to try to push towards home, which I am not sure we will be able to do. But we will time warp for this 5 minutes or so until we get to this node where we continue to push out the other side ever so slightly. And don't have to be too precise with this, I don't think. Let's just get it on the node. And, give ourselves a little bit of throttle here. And we're probably good here, actually. There. Let's just leave it at that. I think we should go over all the surface without skimming a mountain, which wouldn't be for the best. But, alright. Let's see what it's going to take to get back home. Now, technically, ouch, what I probably should have done was launch and go this way. Retro to the spin of the planet. I think that would have been more fuel efficient, but I didn't, because I didn't think about that at the time. Oh, there's some thunder. Let's see. Be as fuel efficient as ooh, that looks pretty good. Gets us in. It's still pretty far, but it's not bad. So this is 3. Does that put us closer? Yes, it does. This is going to be ooh. Right. That's not bad. It's 250 seconds. Right. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to save here. If I cannot manage to do this, I will leave it in this orbit here and rescue them from lunar orbit. But we are going to try and see if I have what it takes to be fuel efficient enough to get home. All I need is a semi-truck to get behind for air efficiency. Obviously that's not going to work. There's no air in space. So even if there was like another ship in front of you, you wouldn't be pulled by the pressure because that's not possible. That's a lot of thunder. Hopefully, I mean obviously that's not really going to edit out too well, but hopefully you can bear with me. I can't control the weather. Let's time warp around the moon here. Get into position to make this burn and try to head home. Hopefully won't. Oh, what's that? That's the that's our unmanned probe that we dropped off before, isn't it? Probes. Yeah, there it is. The Nova Force just landed. This thing's still, Nova Dust is still spinning around, and it looks like we can still actually communicate with this probe here. Probably send signals off here and bounce it out around the moon so they still know we're safe. Let's get our lander back up. Is there a way to make everything show up? I don't think there is. My flag still doesn't show up for some reason, which is weird. But let's continue the time warp. And wait until we're about a minute or so, maybe a little bit more, so I have a little bit of time to adjust. So a minute and 10 seconds, that should be plenty. This is saying 50 seconds, so technically we'd want to... Wow, that was a loud one. Hopefully the power doesn't go out, that'd be horrible. I haven't saved my audio yet, but technically we should start at about 25 seconds. If that was the case, it's going to be 50. There's a lot of rain, a lot of lightning, but the recording must go on. I intended on recording something after this, but I might not. I might just start editing audio and stuff instead. Let's burn the 25 seconds. Let's see if we don't have what it takes to get back home, despite this this solar storm, space storm that we're having. Nope, it's 25 seconds there, and it's saying, okay, yeah, it's still saying 50 seconds. Good. I think that was right. See, we're using up 1.05 liquid fuel per second. We have 200 fuel left. Yeah, I don't know the math. I'm not going to do the math. I'm not very good at math. Actually, I think we're going to have enough to get home. We have plenty. Oh yeah, we're going to make it. It's not using up nearly as much as this is going down. Only a little bit more, and we will be escaping the moon's influence. There we go. We're out. And burn. Done. Let's get rid of this node. What are we looking like here? 1 million. Let's see, that'd be 1,185 kilometers. But that's actually quite reasonable. Once we get here, we could use my monopropellant to deorbit us if we wanted to, but we'll use fuel. It's faster. All right, goodbye moon. Looks like we're making it home after all. Let's time warp away from this bad boy and head on home. I'm so excited that we're gonna make it. Oh look, there's Kerblantic, the dark spot of the moon that we've named after an ocean that doesn't exist. But oh, and there's that one piece of debris. We can see that little circle as well. All right, the Kerblantic, which I think is the biggest. I guess technically this would be the biggest crater. I'm pretty sure this would probably be a crater as well. It's one of the biggest craters anyway. Maybe not the coolest looking, but some cool looking craters. So this one's always a good one. The one with the what looks like a river connects to another crater. All right, let's continue time warp, and maybe perhaps one day if we land back in the Kerblantic, we can start naming individual craters within the larger crater. See, as we are slowly being pulled by the moon, place us into this new orbit. There we go. So let's go ahead and, oops, we don't need a node to do this. Or let's see, where are we gonna come in at? It's hard to say. I think, let's just get us into a orbit in which we will be aero braking and figure out where we're going to land from there. All right, let's start retro burning, or burning retrograde. I don't think retro burning would be technically correct. And drop this orbit down to about maybe 40 kilometers. We'll probably be coming in very quick with this angle of descent here, I guess we'll call it. I'm not sure whether or not it's going to be, it's probably going to be better to land on land, but a little more. Get down to about 40, like I said, which should be pretty good at deorbiting us. We have a little bit more fuel left should we need it. And there goes the moon, which we've successfully landed on and left a satellite in the orbit of. So let's go ahead and time warp back home. As we get a little closer, we'll figure out where it is we're actually going to land at. 3 kilometers a second. I'm not sure how I want to split up the staging on this. Let's let this thing rotate however it wants to naturally for a second and figure out which way it wants to face down at. I'm not really sure. Let's just hold it for a second. I'm hoping it'll deorbit us with the one pass, but I'm not sure that it will. which is why I'm not sure how I want to destage these parts. I might need to change up the staging here based on that, because I want to have it all fall down generally with me. We are deorbiting. We still have a ways to go through the atmosphere here. Oh, I don't know. We might come around for a second pass, which I might be okay with. I could burn some fuel to slow us down, but honestly, a second pass might put us... See, how long is it going to take? Yeah, it's only about an hour if it was. Now let's flip this thing around and start burning some fuel. Might be able to put us next to the Space Center if we do. I think the dog's still scratching on my door. She is, don't mind it. Yeah, she is. Let's see. Are we... Yeah, we're still within the atmosphere. I don't think I'm going to have enough fuel, quite honestly. Oh my god, hold on. Right, with the dog in the room, so she'll quit scratching on my door. And my chair's making a bunch of noise. Looks like... Yeah, hold it there. Looks like we're going to make another pass around the planet. Not too big a deal. It's, I'm not going to complain about it. Let's go ahead and time warp till we get up to 70 kilometers, and then we'll proceed to time warp a little faster. That's okay. Oops. Okay. Thank you. We're out of the atmosphere. There we go. That was weird. Let's go ahead and speed up. Get around. Figure out where it is we're actually going to land. It looks like we're going to land maybe in this desert after it slows us down. Maybe. Potentially. Hope we don't land on a mountain range, which we may very well do. We'll probably land like right on this mountain range, won't we? We're definitely, in fact, going to be landing this time, as expected. That said, let's get this thing facing good and prepare to stage some of this stuff. We're going to stage the top section separately, so let's go ahead and figure that all out. Like this, and which of these? This one. Right, and we'll go ahead and stage that right now. So go ahead and get that out of the way. Staging 3, 2. There we go. It's safely away from the rest of us, which is good. This little piece is still stuck to us, that's alright though. Oh, there's the moon. How pretty. Who knows where that's going to land. It should have enough parachutes to slow it down, and hopefully it'll land safely, or we'll just get our message that pops up and says, congratulations, here's some money. We will not make it to the desert, but that's alright. I've never been to the desert in this game. Oh, we got 1,831 crones. Okay, thank you. We're still dropping speed by quite a massive amount. Let's go ahead and have our parachutes ready. Let's get rid of this. I don't need that, but whatever. It's fine. Let's turn off our SA. Oh, it's flipping us. That's okay, actually. We'll take advantage of this and stage the SAS module. Have it safely out of the way. And flip this thing back over. And get rid of that. There we go. As planned, well, essentially. I didn't have it all exactly planned out, but it's working well enough. Oh, we got 816 crones for that. Wait till we're about Actually, let's go ahead and stage our parachutes. Turn off that, our SAS, and let this thing kind of be drag chutes for us. Slow us down a little bit. Got another... over half a kilometer to fall at this point. More thunder. And... okay, I see a shadow. Oh, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Oh. There's the ground there. Let's go ahead and drop our landing gear. Safety first. And we'll time warp. Get this thing down a little sooner. Nobody ain't got no time for that. And... oh, there's the shadow. There it is. There we go. Back down to normal time speed. And... boop. There we go. You're back home. And let's check Scott's internal view. Landed safely back home. I say mission success. We didn't land where I would have liked, but it all worked out in the end. Let's head back to the Space Center. Yes. And see if there's any stuff that we can pick up. Obviously our crew, which is worth 10,000 plus. It's nighttime here at the Space Center, but let's go send somebody out to collect Bill and Scott. Atlantic. Go look at that now. Let's see. And we got this satellite in orbit now. We went to the lander here. Let's recover that. Recover. It's 25,283 crones. Right. And let's see, debris. Check the debris here. Let's see. This piece of debris out here, which stays. This piece of debris out here, which stays. We have this, which is part of the launchy leg bits. Recover 29, like we always get. And there's another one of those. Recover, yes, 29. And does this thing have 4? I can't really remember. I guess it did. Recover, yes. It did. Where? Oh, I guess it's right here. And recover. Yes. Forgot it had 4 little clampy things. But we've left 2 new pieces of space debris in space. Congratulations, me. That's not too bad, though. This is in an orbit that will probably never affect anything, and this other one's on the ground. But, see, probes flipping everywhere. We're down to 769,071 crones. I have to subtract, what was it, 10,000? Yeah, I have to take 10,000 off at some point because those guys I recovered at the start, which I didn't need to do. But, let's see, what did we start off with? It was 800 something thousand, so we did lose some money on this mission, but with me sending up new satellites and stuff in between missions, it's not too bad. But alright, that's a mission off the list. I'm actually gonna get my list and mark it off. Man Moon mission marked. Next time, I think what the plan is to go start setting up some stuff on Minmus. We're gonna have a manned mission to Minmus, where we're also going to take a satellite. I might find a mission that does a satellite around Minmus, but my satellite, I might take 2. The satellite is going to have a cathane detector on it, so that we can go to Minmus and have a satellite inspecting for cathane, so we can start a cathane fuel station around Mimis. The one worry I have about this, though, I will explain real shortly, because we're already like at an hour and 24 minutes, which I've been recording here. I plan, and I've never done this before, which just makes me a little bit worried, to take a new approach to get to Mimis that I've never even considered before, because it's going to be a satellite that's detecting for Kethane. I have to try to put it in a polar orbit if I can, and it would be more fuel efficient to start polar and get there polar than it would be to go in a equilateral, is that what it would be called, an orbit around the equator, because normally, you know, you get into orbit and then you adjust your orbit to Mimis's orbit, which is at an angle, and then you get there and then you're on Mimis's 90 degrees, at which point you'd have to turn around, make it go 180 to go polar. I'm considering going polar on Kerbin and then going like, because I'll be going like this and then going like this to get to Mimis. So it's going to take some poking, and it might take a while for them to line up in which I can make the actual trip over. It won't probably be perfectly polar, but once I get there, I want to be at least like at a highly polar angle so that I can alter it slightly without having to use a whole lot of fuel. I'm not sure if that's the way to do it, but I think that's the way I'm going to do it. If you have any other ideas regarding that, let me know, because this would require math that I'm not going to do the mission. It's just going to be a lot of guesswork and hoping that it works out. But, right, with that said, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, or rather episodes, it's probably 2 episodes I've cut this up into, because it's going to be so long. Let me know about that question I asked about whether or not you prefer episodes that are long, like 30, 40, 50-minute episodes where I include most everything I do, short of satellite launches, or if you prefer me to cut out things like traveling from point A to point B, more thunder, launches, etc. Let me know. It does help me kind of determine how I do my editing. I can do it either way, and I want to do it the way you guys prefer. If it was just me personally deciding, I would leave in more, just because I like kind of showing my process of how I do one thing and how that leads to the next thing, so you don't miss anything. But I'll leave that up to you. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and the last episode, and I'll catch you on the next one, where we go to Mimis. Again, we've been to Mimis before, but we're going again.